And this is in the 70s, because that was the norm, that when we studied in Makerere, all foreigners who were there were told, you go back home and do your work there. So the people in Makerere, the academicians, they knew the value of you going home. In Tanzania, actually, the students from Tanzania, Makerere was sent an official letter by government in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, that for all our students, they must come back to Tanzania and collect their data for their dissertations. And he said, just undergraduate. How much more would you do if it was a master's or a PhD? So, to publish, to get data and information in the South Sudan, you don't necessarily actually need formal agreements between institutions. As long as you can write to us the purpose of your visit, and we can liaise with the necessary government organs for you to get a permit to do the research, that should not be a problem.
Yeah. One of my Sudanese colleagues was in Juba recently. He said that he encountered problems trying to set up a collaboration between himself and some partners there, because it seems that a lot more people are not interested in collaborations. So I left him despondent, so he decided to accept a position at Nibising, which is a university in the North Bay. But he's still trying to explore how to set up a collaboration, because he's keen on doing research on human geography in Southern Sudan. So I don't know who would be the relevant person to contact. If you can provide me with one, then I'll be happy to pass it along to him.
You see, the problem always is that, of course, you cannot really set up a collaboration between an individual and an institution. It has to be institution to institution. So the best route for your friend would have been to come through the university, for example, or to get a letter from his university introducing him and asking for assistance. Once there is such a letter, then it is easier for you to get assistance. But don't appear there without any letter. We don't know. I mean, you could have come from anywhere. That would not be honored. But if you went with a letter, introducing you and stating what your objectives are, I can assure you that you will get assistance. And if you went through the university, you will obviously be lent to the necessary those who are in your field, and they will make the appropriate arrangements. That should not be a problem. There are perhaps certain policies which are not in place. This is a young country to be. There are a lot of things that are not in place. But we do assist, whether they are own staff members. I mean, just before I came, there was one in the same field of geology whom we sent to the field, gave him a vehicle. He went to collect his rocks and all that. Yes?
It's a pleasure to meet with Aggrey.
I know, yeah.
First time in 1976, from the same institution. And we used to talk about the diaspora situation at the University of Nairobi. May 1976, that's when we met. And, he's one of the best scholars that I have ever met. And we got many instances of working together. Welcome to our art. And now one of course I have similar experience like you, and I try to go home actually after almost 25 years. One of the missing link when we talk about it, that's why the kind of incentives you give, and I think you mentioned it, that's on some of the like housing, schooling, even financial assistance might be important at the same time. So although it's a young nation, that's perhaps something we should look into, how we can provide some kind of incentive for people to go and settle back. Otherwise, another problem might be, people might go back and then jump back again. That's one problem. So what are we doing?
Yeah. Thanks, Barhani as he mentioned, we were together at Abate. When he came to teach, he was there doing my master's, and then I came back and became the staff member and so on. Yeah. So we go a long way back. In fact, I was surprised. I wasn't very sure whether I was seeing the right person, you know. because he has worked for IDRC also. Incidentally, for those of you who may not know, he took over from Jackson Katigiri for a while, and I can say that through him we're able to get grants to do this research that we're talking about. So it's about writing proposals and so on. The incentive issue is obviously a very big consideration in all these things, because people working here, conditions are better, and so on, and then it becomes very difficult to attract people down there. We think this is going to change in the new state, because in the Sudan that has been existing for the last 6 years, the north pays differently from the south, and the north is a little bit more careful with the money they give people, meaning that they don't pay very highly. I suppose maybe they are managing better, I don't know. In the south they pay very well. They pay very, very well, and if there is any incentive, it's going to be that. We expect, we have already made our budget and so on ready, and government will be given that. We expect that from July, the situation will be different. And if they pay us the salaries that they've been paying everybody in the south, then I think the issue of incentives will never really be the case, because it will be good. Just like countries in Southern Africa. I worked in Namibia, and in Namibia, in Botswana, you were in Botswana, you know what happened in Botswana. They pay so well there in the universities that people leave government to go to universities. And in Namibia, I was very comfortable. To be very honest with you, I was a comfortable person. I enjoyed my work. I enjoyed my research because I was well paid. And I didn't think twice to work. So South Africa, the same thing. They pay very well there. And so nobody would want to stay in Europe or in North America. Because again, there is a lot to be done there, honestly speaking. If you want to change society, if you want to impact on society, you do it better there than here. Here, a lot of things are already established. And then the incremental benefit that you get from people inputting is small. There it is still very big. And so it's a question of people making this. So I think the issue of incentive is going to change. People will be well paid. And then there is really no reason to stay. And then the thing is, as you well know, when we were in Nairobi, we worked very hard because we consistently wrote projects and got money. And that's the life of an academician, is to write projects and to get money and to travel to those conferences. And so then you will never think about anything else. Yes? Yes? Yeah, that's a very important question. Important because it got us a project. And let me be selfish a bit here. The whole issue of food security got us a big project with Virginia Tech, the University of Juba, Virginia Tech, and so on, because we want to address that. Food security situation in Southern Sudan is bad. It's not good. It's not good because the war, as I said, uprooted a lot of people. So those people who are farming could no longer farm. Because you are worried about when an Antonov is going to drop a bomb or when the bullet will be fired. So you're all the time on the run. There's no time to till the land. And many people ran into, either they went to Khartoum in the north, or they went to the bush, much deeper. And the bush in Southern Sudan is quite extensive. Or they went into exile in East Africa and the DRC and so on. Now, so we have destroyed the basis for farming, the human base for farming, because those who profited from farming and who knew how to do it were now scattered, and they went and acquired new ways of living, and when they came back they were old, because the last war took 22 years. So by the time you came back, you have no energy even to farm. And then people reverted to making charcoal, because the south is full of trees. Now they found it easier to burn wood to get charcoal and sell than to go and till the land. Because first of all, you can do charcoal burning throughout the year. You don't need a season. But the other one, you have to wait for the rains and so on. Secondly, the seed situation. Seeds kind of disappeared. There were no more seeds to be planted because they ate. Even the little that was there was eaten because of the war. So the fundamentals of farming were drastically changed. Unfortunately, not in our favor. So now people have been coming back slowly, and the younger generation is no longer interested in farming. Because as I said, the demographics have changed. Those who used to know it are aging, or are dead or something. The younger ones, they don't know how to do it very well. So the situation is different. And Juba is being fed, for example, from Kampala, from Uganda at the moment. Most of the food we eat there, fruits, but everything comes from Uganda, with a bit coming also from the north. There are no food factories or whatever in Juba. The only factories that exist there are for bottling water, making water and bottling water. So there is this nothing. So the situation is not good, but it is changing. Okay, we have a lot of cattle. I think I should say that. We have a lot of cattle. But these cattle are not within the economic system proper of the country. They are mainly owned by people who keep them because they want to use them for cultural issues, mainly for marrying and so on, right? Price payment and so on. And then they are highly priced. We have actually, we overpriced so much that we have priced ourselves out of the regional and international markets. Because you can't sell these cattle. They used to sell them in Kenya and in Uganda during the war. Now we cannot, because you get more money if you sell them inside the country. So the Ugandans and Kenyans cannot afford. Now that's not very good for the economy. So we need to change. And recently we had an SPLM economic reform workshop. And that's what exactly I told him about livestock. We have got to change how we deal with our livestock situation. So the food security situation is not good, but there are concerted efforts right now. And this is, I think, the good thing about this new country, that we know what the problems are and we also know where we should go. So there are concerted efforts being made to try and improve the situation. The Ministry of Agriculture is targeting that people, because the statistics I think show that they are only planting half an acre or something like that per household. The target is to move to, I think, 1.5 acres and then to up to 3 hectares or something per household in order to change this scenario. So this is now the